now moving on to the action item 10.1, approval of the first interim financial report.
Yeah, before Chris starts, we actually have two speakers on the item. Two speakers. The first speaker is Randy Shingai.
Amazing. What I like to do on these kind of things is I like to see what the original was so I can see, what might have changed. This is really an update on the budget that was agreed to for this year, the first update, and two updates I guess are required by law. So this is the first update. And I posted this on CUSD Discuss, but there's like about 2 summary pages. And the thing that caught my attention, this is the July 1 budget. I marked in red the differences between this and the interim. And I think there are like 5 on this page. This is a summary page. Here, you guys can look at this. So what I would like to say is you don't have to approve this today, especially if you don't understand it and haven't had time to understand it. Your name is going to go on this thing. So if that means anything to you, I think you really want to understand what's on it, because I think there are a lot of changes. I didn't have time to look at this weekend. I was really busy. But just doing a fast scan of the summary pages, there are a lot of differences. There are about 100 and something pages in this thing. You really have an obligation to look at this stuff and not rubber stamp it. Okay, this is not crossing guards. This is, district finances.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Yes, our next speaker is Greg Anderson.
That's Gregory Anderson. Thank you, Wendy. Good evening, everybody, members of the board. I'd like to, first of all, introduce myself. Indeed, I'm Gregory Anderson. I'm a lifelong educator. I spent decades in the classroom, K-12, private universities around the world, and open access institutions as well, often working directly with boards such as yourself. So I chose to speak on this item tonight because I knew that previous important topics would be covered. I knew that children's safety would be covered. I didn't think it would be covered in exactly this way, but I knew it would be covered. I knew that transparency would be covered because that is indeed the call of the citizenry. I knew that accountability for decisions to avoid the devastating impacts that have been wrought, like Luther School site in West Valley. I knew those issues would be covered as well. I know the need for constituency engagement would be covered. I knew that the assessment of outcomes and the basis in empirical research for decisions and the need to bring back that kind of accountability would also be covered. But I chose this topic for many of the same reasons that Randy Shingai just mentioned. Fiscal responsibility is the primary role of this board, and this board needs to assume that responsibility. Dollars show priorities. No person in this room, with the exception of staff, has read every line here. And I challenge many folks in this room to even have read the summaries that Randy Shingai just mentioned that he had read. Dollars show priorities and expenditures show the results of your decisions, members of the board. All of these questions that I'm going to ask now, and all of the opportunities that I'm going to describe apply to the budget calendar that was outlined as well. These opportunities and these questions are your opportunity to take a shift and truly transform your leadership. The citizenry got together and re-elected Trustee Vogel, congratulations, but they also elected a newcomer who's already asking important questions. So as we study the budget, thousands of questions arise, and this is your opportunity to address them. I have no doubt that if this board truly comes together and takes responsibility for its awesome role. You report to nobody but the voters. I think sometimes we hear that this board is concerned about compliance and everything. Absolutely, that's essential, but you are the ultimate authority for running this district. That's your responsibility. That's your opportunity. So it's truly our opportunity for this board to show that you are able to respond effectively to the voice of the voter. Those voters were speaking not just to electing Trustee Vogel and Trustee Chow, but also to all the current sitting members. It's our opportunity to show the rest of the country that we can come together as a community and bring true transparency, our opportunity to end the sterile, pessimistic, woe-begone outlook. We are not victims. We can tap into the creativity of Silicon Valley, recognize the power of democracy, and bring back accountability to this board. I
Thank you.
challenge you to that.
Just before you start, we want to take a 5-minute break and be right back.